Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. In today's video, we're going to continue to preview the 2022-2023 NBA season with the Houston Rockets. This year will be crucial for their long-term success, and this is an opportunity for Stephen Silas to create a winning foundation and culture for this great young core that they have assembled, including this offseason's draft of Jabari Smith and Tari Eason. But first, let's dive into this team a little bit from last season, starting at the offensive end of the floor. In terms of offensive rating, they were the 26th ranked offense, and in terms of points per possession, they were the 25th ranked offense. But things that stood out to me were their turnovers and assist to turnover ratio being low, but they had the number 2 pace. So there are some things that went well for them and some things that could really be crucial to their success at this end of the floor moving forward. So now let's dive into film a little bit and talk about some things they did well and not so well. Their ability to play in transition could be one of their strengths moving forward. Last season they ranked 30th in terms of points per possession on the break, but this part of their offense could be crucial to their success. As you can see that they have some really good things going for them in terms of their personnel. They can push 1 through 5. They got great athletes running wide. They have the ability to throw lobs to virtually anyone on the floor at any given time, and everybody can handle and make decisions with the ball in their hands. So in terms of personnel, that's a good thing. And along with that, they also have a really good understanding of the way to space the floor while on the break, when to attack the rim, how the bigs got to run point A to point B, rim runs. They're just solid in transition, and this part of their game can continue to develop and grow as their decision making improves, which we'll talk about later, and it could become a huge strength moving forward. One big takeaway that I think that could be a huge part of their offense for the long term is their ability to play off their bigs. They have really elite guards in terms of scoring ability, slashing, and just creating for themselves. But if they get bigs involved as playmakers, Sengun is a tremendous passer, Usman is a very raw offensive talent, but these guys could make life so much easier for these guards. In all of these clips, you can see the big will get a hit in a 5-out or elbow situation, and there's movement off the ball. Things aren't stagnant, and the offense is flowing and playing, and it allows the defense to collapse. It forces rotations, and the guards on the outside have the opportunity to read and make plays. But another thing about this is their 5-out actions and sets that they ran last year with Sengun is the virtual point guard. Simple handoffs, DHOs, along with zooms and Chicagos and split actions were seen in their offense, since Sengun's playmaking ability frees up so many things. But this ability to play wide, play in space, make live reactive reads is going to be really hard to guard, and also make life so much easier for the Jalen Greens, Kevin Porters, and now Jabari Smiths. They're going to be high volume scoring options, and this will get the ball in their hands, allow them to create and play in space, and not have so much pressure to do it on their own. And another thing is their inverted or post offense. It provides movement. It provides a structure for them. You can see that every time the ball is in the post, things are moving. There's good spacing. There's just the ability to not be rushed, not have stagnant offense on the perimeter, not allow one guy to just handle for the entire possession. We'll talk more about that stuff later, but their ability to play out of the post will provide the offense the ability to have an easier time making reads, an easier time for these young guys to know what to do, and it allows Sengun to star in his role as a playmaking 5-man. His ability to pass is one of the best in the league at his position, and this movement and spacing also will free him and Garaba up for easy scoring opportunities. One of the biggest things that needs to change moving forward to build a foundation for success is their decision making. They led the league in turnovers at over 16 per game, and they were one of the worst shooting teams in the league. First, let's talk about those turnovers though. In all of these clips, you can see that the ball gets stagnant, possessions break down, guys get loose with the ball. There's a lack of purpose and assertiveness with the ball in their hands. They almost try to be too flashy rather than get the job done, which I will say is a young player thing rather than a team thing. And I think as they mature and develop, things will get better in terms of this. But right now, they need to grow, develop, and get better with the ball in their hands. The other half of that decision making comes in terms of their shot selection. A lot of those possessions where the ball gets stuck and things get stagnant and turns into isolations for Kevin Porter, Jalen Green, amongst other players that just handle the ball, try to make a tough shot, And it's regardless of the clock. The clock could be low, it could be at 12 seconds, and they're going to hoist one up. I think that they need to get more movement in their offense. That's why I really like the 5-out and play through their big men. However, as they continue to grow and develop as players, I think that their shot selection and ability to understand what a good shot is and what a bad shot is needs to improve. I think that the more that Coach Silas could create pace, the better, and along with that, the more just half-court movement, the more off-ball splits, the more off-ball pins and screening actions, the better it will be in the long haul for these guys. And to wrap things up at the offensive end of the floor, they have the potential to be a high-level pick-and-roll threat of a group. Jalen Green and Kevin Porter could be the head of the snake of one of the best pick-and-roll attacks in the NBA. These two guys are high-level scorers. You'll see in the first couple of clips that Jalen Green and Kevin Porter have the ability to score at a tremendously high clip from all three levels. Both are explosive and strong at the rim. They have really solid mid-range and second-level scoring ability, and from deep, they've both shown great improvement throughout last season to be highly effective from there also. So it's very hard for a defense to understand how to guard and what to take away and where to put these guys, but along with that scoring ability comes gravity. The defense will be dragged to you, and they have good bigs and good players off the ball that could slash, could find openings. And as Jalen Green and Kevin Porter improve as passers, the more opportunities will arise for these other guys to make plays, and that's why they can be so effective in this. Now it's time to go to the other end of the floor and talk about their defense, starting with some stats real quick. They were the worst defense in the NBA in terms of their defensive rating and second worst in terms of their points per possession. They gave up a load of easy opportunities in transition, in second chance opportunities, and that type of stuff needs to get cleaned up for their long-term success. But time to dive into the film. They could be a high-level playmaking team at the defensive end of the floor due to their length, versatility, and athleticism. You can see in all of these clips, they do a tremendous job at having a good read in the gaps, at getting into the ball, making plays at the point of attack, and just being pests. These guys in the gaps have length, they have athletic ability to just get in there, make plays, force turnovers. They just need to be more consistent with their effort in doing so. These guys are good athletes, they're able to run the break, but at the defensive end of the floor, they need to use that athletic ability also. At the point of attack, need to be solid, use that length, use that strength to stay in front. And then in the gaps, they need to be able to stay solid, force turnovers, make plays, make reads, jump these gaps, and then be able to cover themselves on the backside. As we talked about earlier too, they can be a high-level transition scoring team, so the more turnovers they're able to force and the more open floor opportunities they can create for themselves, the better it'll be for them in the long haul. But another thing I want to talk about in terms of their playmaking is their ability to protect the rim. They gave up a lot of easy shots in the paint, but I think that their athleticism, their length, their size is one of their strengths, and it could be seen at the rim. Usman Garaba is a tremendously raw, athletic five-man that has the ability to guard virtually anyone, and can be a huge part of the rim presence moving forward. I think Sengun, also as a big man in the middle of the lane, is really solid at understanding where the offense is going, what they want to do, where they want to get, and he can make plays down there also. He's not as athletic, and he struggled at this end of the floor, but as the season progressed, he improved. So their ability to make plays at all three levels of their defense will be a huge part of what they do moving forward. One of my biggest takeaways when watching their film from the jump was their struggles as a transition defense. These first couple of clips, you'll just see that there's a lack of effort, lack of assertiveness at getting back, getting in front of the ball, even in secondary offensive situations. Nobody really gets into the ball, activates it, and really tries to stop at the point of attack. All these clips, the trail will get it, and he just gets an easy blow by. That struggle at the point of attack also goes for the guards. First things first though, the shot selection and turnovers need to improve to prevent these transition opportunities, but if a team gets out on the break, there needs to be more effort, more determination to get back, stop the ball, load the paint, and make things difficult for the offense. All these clips you can see the ball doesn't get stopped immediately or early. the ball get inside the paint, and then guys are cutting, guys are moving. If the ball does get stopped early, the defense is way too spread out. They don't wall up in the middle of the lane. As you've seen throughout these clips, there was plenty of struggle in terms of their ability to guard the break, and it all starts from effort. Coach Silas needs to demand this high effort, high intensity in transition to make life easier and make themselves more competitive. So now let's dive into another aspect of their defense they struggled with was pick and roll coverage and help side, and just all parts of their pick and roll defense. These first few clips, let's look at the miscommunication. In this clip here against the Nets, Sengun and the ball defender dropped and then had to recover out to the ball. In this clip against Sacramento, on the rescreen, both guys go out to the ball and leave the big open on the dive. In this clip against Portland, nobody goes to the ball. Two guys go late to the ball, and then it opens up for a late roll. In this clip against Dallas, you'll see the ball screen get set. It's a Spain action. There's a miscommunication on the Spain part, and then the big gets caught on an island. They also need to improve in terms of their help. They tended to go really late to the help, and that was just a huge part of their defense in general, that the help side wasn't as active, wasn't as early, but that needs to improve in their pick and roll. Bigs got easy opportunities time and time again, and if the help was early, they wouldn't be quick enough to get back out and guard on the perimeter, get a closeout, get a contest. They just need to really improve and clean up all aspects of their pick and roll defense. Now, to finish things up, let's talk about base issues that were seen throughout all their half-court defensive possessions for the most part. It all starts at the point of attack. They need to improve at guarding their yard, being open to the ball, being active at the point and making things difficult there. There were way too many times where the ball handler was able to make a single move. The defender would open and just get straight to the rim. That was way too easy. And along with that, the help side was not active. There was not that help side guy coming in, making things difficult at the rim, forcing a kick out, forcing the ball to move, and just rotating. They need to get better at being solid as a group. I know that they did not like helping out the corners, and they were pretty stay at home in terms of their gap and help side activity with trying to deny that next pass, forcing one-on-ones. But I think that they have so many playmakers, they have such length and athletic ability that they could plug the lane, they could move, they could rotate at a higher clip and more efficiently than most teams in the league. And that starts with their ability to apply pressure at the point and do what they have to do to make things difficult from the jump of every defensive possession. But to conclude this video, the future in Houston is bright. They have such a young and talented core between Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, Usman Garaba is a young raw talent. They have Kevin Porter, who could be an explosive scorer in the league, along with their recent draft of Jabari Smith and Tari Eason, two guys that could really play both inside and out, be smart with the ball in their hands. Jabari Smith showed a tremendous defensive ability with his great length, size, and athleticism. He'll be a great versatile defender. Tari Eason is a great swingman. His ability to be a small 3-4 man, able to shoot the ball, make plays in the short roll. Jayshawn Tate's a talent that they already have. They just have assembled such a great team of guys that are young, talented, and they'll be incredibly fun to watch. So I hope this video shed some light on what Houston did last season and what they can improve on into this season, and how this could project into long-term success. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you in the next one.